Hello, welcome everybody. A good afternoon to you, or maybe a good morning, depends on where you are joining us from around the world. Yes, it's David and Nick, and we're here for our midweek shout-outs. And we're talking about lots of great stuff on the breakfast show this week. We've got two great guests joining us in the studio live tomorrow morning. And we're going to have, as always, lots of great fun, lots of great conversation. And of course, we want you as listeners, as viewers, to interact, to join us, to challenge us, and maybe tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do, so we can do a shout out and welcome you onto the show. If it's your first time watching the show, which is, as I say, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, then you are in for an absolute treat. Nick, that coffee looks good there. Is that a homemade latte or is that a Starbucks takeaway?
It's a homemade latte, my friend. I love a good coffee in the afternoon. And you're absolutely right. The show is best when it's interactive, when we get lots of engagement from our lovely audience. So how you doing? How's it all going this rather grey and changeable week as the air is filled with politicians setting out what the future might look like for us? How is your business coping? Lots going on this week, mate, as always. And as you say, amazing guests, right? So we can bounce ideas, thoughts, and theories off our amazing guests and find out how they're cracking on with their businesses.
Yeah, we will encourage pre or post show your comments, your interaction. We're always looking for stars to come on the show as well and talk about their story. And if that's for you, if you want to come on here and talk a little bit more about what you do, maybe you're an award-winning business. We know a few of those. Maybe you're an award-winning business. Maybe you've had some huge successes. Maybe you've had some challenges as well in business or in life. We'd love to know a little bit about them. We're happy to explore them with you and ask the audience what they think as well. Sounds a little bit like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Let's ask the audience. But that's what communication's about. That's what it is that really works for us. And really what we enjoy is listening to your stories, sharing your stories, promoting who you are and what you do. And hopefully it will open a door or two for you as well.
Absolutely. Here we are at the home of conversation, live and obviously unscripted. The more conversations we have, I think the better the future will look. It's one thing for the politicians to stand up and say, right, this is what it's going to look like for us. A very different thing for us to have proper conversations. How do we make that work? How are we going to cope with that? What's going on in the next month, the next 6 months? How are we coping with the right here and right now? So yeah, conversations most definitely the way forward. And you and I, David, thrive on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the here and now, some of the things that we're going to talk about in more detail tomorrow on the show and with our guests as well. Facebook. How did that affect you earlier this week? The Facebook, the whole point, it hit through to WhatsApp, Instagram, Messenger. What happened that evening? For those that are in the UK, it was evening time for you, where you might sit down at your dinner table that night and flick through your phone and read what's going on in the world, send a few messages. Did it mean you had to sit there that evening and have conversation across the table with the family, with your husband or wife or partner? What was the impact to your business? I'd love to know. Did it impact your business? I read a number of articles. A company over in Ireland, it said it impacted his business, and it could mean those 5 or 6 hours could mean that he can't pay his rent or electricity bill this month. Really? Did it impact business that majorly in such a short period of time? $1 billion per hour wiped off the value of Facebook. $1 billion an hour. 7 billion, 7 hours, gone just like that.
Amazing stuff, isn't it? Amazing stuff. And it just goes to show how much we, in varying degrees, how much we rely on our technology, first of all, and how much we rely on that infrastructure provided by some of the tech giants. It's not been a good week for Facebook, has it? Their lovely whistleblower has been talking about what it's like behind the scenes. Okay, and this raises a big question for me, right? You know me, I'm kind of, I want to engage in a more human way, and I think we're losing that skill. One huge issue that's created. So Facebook, I'm being told by the whistleblower, puts profit before safety. Okay, and this is a subject I want to bring up on the show tomorrow at 8 a.m. and we'll talk to our guests about it. So if Facebook, for example, puts profit first, safety way down the list. Right? I also read today that the Ofcom it's going to lay out measures that it will require, as in it doesn't require these yet. All right, for video sharing platforms, your lovely TikTok that all your kids are on, Snapchat, Vimeo, and the like, going to lay out measures which will require these organizations to ensure that content related to terrorism, child sexual abuse, racism doesn't appear. So in theory, these rules don't exist yet, right? What? And then I also read, right, it says outrage Nick from Essex, that these essay mills, organizations created to write essays for your kids at university so they can sit on their backsides and not write these essays, right? They're going to be made illegal. What do you mean they're not illegal already? Right? What's going on in the corporate world? What's happened to corporate ethics? Did you start your business with a focus on profit and I don't give a toss what else happens? Or do you have a proper culture where your business is about doing the right thing? You know, ideally you're making some money as well, but is it profit at all costs, or are you a lovely business with a culture? I want to hear from you. I want to open up a bit of a debate, because it looks like big business doesn't care. Right? Prove me wrong. Am I naive, or should I be outraged? What's going on, mate? What's happening?
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So join us tomorrow morning from 8 o'clock, where Nick will be on his soapbox and putting the world to rights and asking those questions again of our listeners and viewers. And it's, I absolutely get it. But there is scenarios, isn't there, where even with like these essay writing companies and that, I mean, you can go on to people per hour, and go on there and say, I want this job done. And someone will do it for you for, tuppence and halfpennies in some cases, for very, very small amounts. It's, in a way, it's a great outsourcing technique. And I'm not suggesting, by the way, students should be doing this. Of course not. That's not what I'm endorsing here. But hey, that's good thinking outside of the box of those that did do it. Am I going to sit there, or should I get someone else to do it? It shows entrepreneurship. That's what I look at it. I think, hats off to you. But there's the debate for tomorrow morning.
It certainly is, mate. Let's start here. Yeah. Is it right? Is it right? And at what point does these services per hour, right? It's okay, I can get someone else to do that. At what point does that cross a line?
Well, let our audience tell us, Nick. What are their opinions and views? So that's on the show tomorrow. We're also going to talk about the fuel crisis. Is there one? Question mark. Is it still happening? Is it impacting you still? Are you still finding it hard to find fuel to get yourself to work, or, for leisure purposes? What's the impact around the country? I'd love to know. The people, of course, in Europe, France, Spain, and that are laughing at the UK at the moment. What, fuel crisis? My God, what's going on over there? It does make sometimes a mockery of, how we do handle things at times. What's your opinion on that? Has it impacted your business? And of course, we've got our guests joining us on the show tomorrow as well. Two lovely ladies joining us in the hour. So first up tomorrow, we have Lucinda O'Reilly from the International Trade Consultancy. And that's going to be talking about importing, exporting, which, since Brexit, I know lots of companies and organizations are finding that a little bit more tough. So we're going to talk more about that. And then we're following on around about 8:30 UK time. We have Hollie Whittles from Purple Frog Systems with some great news as well, because they are an multi-award winning organization. And we're going to find out more about that. And about Hollie's journey as well as a speaker, a TEDx speaker, something close to our heart, Nick, TEDx, and speaking live from stage. Over 5,000 hours of delivering talks and presentations has been clocked up in Hollie's lifetime. So really interesting to find out more about the business, but more about, talking from stage and the subjects and inspiring others as well. So it's going to be a great, great show. Lots to talk about. Lots of conversation to have.
Who doesn't want to know about international trade and what on earth's going on, please? And purple frogs, Well, great. What other show can bring you that? What a great mix of conversation.
Maybe we can import or export some purple frogs. If there is such a thing around the world, there must be somewhere. We'll see if we can find a purple frog. There must be.
Imagine if it's International Purple Frog Day. I will investigate.
I was going to say, what is tomorrow? You have to come back to find out what International Day is in the world tomorrow. Nick always gives us an informative update of something that's happening around the world, and we'll find out more about that tomorrow. But here's the thing. Put it in your diaries, log it into your calendars, put your alarm clock on, whatever it is, to join us from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning here in the live virtual studio with myself, David Bell, and of course, Nick Looby. As always, we'll be here for the hour, talking to great guests, talking businesses, and putting the world to rights as well.
8 a.m. Thursday morning, as always. Come and join the fun. Get stuck into the conversations, and let us know you're there, and we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. Bye-bye.